And after you leave a like, remember to smash the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet. And remember to hit the notification bell so every time I post a video, you can know right away. Subscribe, 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 subscribe. What's up, my YouTube friends, viewers, subscribers, everybody? Welcome back to another banger video. Now, you guys already know what time it is when my voice sounds like this. It's time to be motivated. Let's get it. Change your environment. And the reason why I say this, your environment have a lot to do with you limiting your potential. Example, where you live have a lot to do with what you can do. So if you live in a family house and you want to make videos or you want to sing, you want to do whatever it is that you want to do. Sorry, I like using content creator as an example because I like using myself as an example. So you live in a family house and everyone is always there, it's always noisy. It's going to be hard for you to make a video or to voice a song or to like stay focused in what you're doing. Because let me use content creator as an example. First of all, if you're trying to make a video within a family house, you're going to have people running all over the place. You're going to have noise all over the place, all in your background. So it's hard to be a content creator within a family house, especially if they're not trying to be a part of what you're doing. Because all they're going to do is like make noise and make everything harder than what it needs to be. Your environment have a lot to do with where you are, especially if you're trying to aim to be an asset to the world. Your environment is key because you're going to need a quiet place to make your videos because you don't want your viewers and subscribers watching you and then you're talking or you're doing something and then you hear a bunch of noise in the background and then people talking to you, people swearing in your videos and sort of making your videos look like crap. You know what I'm saying? So your environment have a lot to do with what you're trying to do. So me personally, I would say your environment, you got to change your environment. If you want to be a content creator or singer or whatever it is, if you want to be a regular guy that works a 9 to 5, that's fine. You don't have to change your environment because you want to be a regular guy. But to be a guy that's like, not say a guy, to be a person because females also want to be content creators and females also want to be rappers. But to be a person that's like iconic, you have to change your environment. Your environment have a lot to do with where you are. Sometimes your own environment is like the box that you're trapped in. Because you want to do stuff, but the environment that you're in, like I've said, a family house, it can like affect what you are trying to do. And another example, your neighborhood. You notice a lot of people that live in the ghetto always seems to like their potential is limited. And then when somebody leaves the ghetto, they experience like new things because your environment have a lot to do with whatever it is you're aiming for. Even if you want to work a 9 to 5, it's gonna be hard to work a 9 to 5 and live in the ghetto because you're gonna walk by everybody sitting on the corner every day and you're that one person that's literally trying to say, oh, I want to work, I don't want to sit on the corner there and be broke. But it's hard because if you're not mentally strong and you walk past all your friends sitting down, you have to be mentally strong to keep on going to work. Because who want to go to work when all your friends are sitting down drinking and playing cards or playing domino or playing something? Nobody. So it's sort of hard. Like your environment literally have a lot to do with where you are. Because what I've noticed is a lot of people want to make that step forward, but they can't because of the environment that they're in. And like I said, the roof over your head, especially if you live with a roommate, it's gonna be hard because you're gonna have your roommate telling you, "Oh, your ring light is too bright. You're making too much noise," or "I don't want you to have that friend over to do a collab with and whatnot." Like your environment have a lot to. I like using content creators because it makes more sense because I understand more. Because if you want to make a video, and then you're doing a collaboration with one of your friends, and then you have a roommate. The roommate is paying half of the rent, so they're entitled to the crib the same way as you. So they have all right to tell you that, oh, I don't want you bringing that friend over, or your light is too bright, or I'm trying to sleep. And there's no way you can ask them, oh, can you go to the store for 2 seconds? Like it's wrong. So if you want to push forward in like the social media lifestyle, you're gonna need a quiet background. You notice how my background is quiet? You're gonna need a quiet background. So when you talk, people can hear you and they don't have to focus on what everybody else in your background is saying. Because number one, it's hard to it's hard to do stuff within a family house. It's hard, especially if everyone is always home. If everyone is working, then you could sort of push for, but it's gonna be limited because if you live in a family house and everyone's working, at least 7 out of 10 chance one person is there. And then if you're trying to do something or you're trying to make a video, you're gonna hear them. Are you talking to yourself or what you know what I mean? While you're in the middle of your video. So your environment have a lot to do with it. I've noticed a lot of people want to make the step forward, but they can't because trust me, your environment is like a box. You can't move forward if you don't get out. That's why, like I've said, a lot of people move from the ghetto or move from some neighborhood. Look at how much parents grew up in like the ghetto or the hood, and then they have kids, and then they move the kids out there so the kids can, like see different things, not just belittling themselves and like not living up to their full potential. Because where you live and what you see is what you know. So wherever you grow up, whatever you see, like I said, is what you know. So it's hard to do something. This is why I strongly recommend you should get your own crib. You should get your own crib. It may be a lot more pricey, but you'll be comfortable because you can do whatever you want in your own crib. You don't have to worry about what your roommate is saying. You don't have to worry about what your sister is saying, what your cousin, your brother. You don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to like lower your voice because your cousin or family member is literally right there, and they're hearing you. You don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? So your environment have a lot to do with it. Trust me. Change your environment. If you want to push forward into like social media lifestyle, you have to change your environment. Because family house and roommate, trust me, it's going to be hard for you. It is going to be hard for you. That's why you're probably scared right now. And that's why it's hard for you to get up and actually make it happen, because you're worrying about what your roommate may say, what one of your family may say, what people in your neighborhood may say. You're worrying about all that stuff. And it's going to be harder for you to push forward because you're worrying about more of what everybody have to say. Because nobody want to get up and make a video and have somebody in the background telling them, can you lower your voice? I'm trying to read, or I'm trying to do homework. Now, you know what I mean? Like it's way easier if you get your own crib. Me, I recommend you pay the money and be comfortable instead of living free and you're uncomfortable. I've seen a lot of people live free or live on a cheap budget just to be uncomfortable. No, I don't recommend that. I'm gonna buy my own house where I can do videos every day, all day, and post it online. That's what I'm aiming for right now. You know what I mean? So it's like your environment. You need your own house. First of all, your own house, because you can do whatever you want whenever you want. You don't have nobody telling you, oh, it's too late to make a video. It's too this. You know what I mean? Like, you need to change your environment. It's way easier if you get your own crib. Trust me. It's way, way, way easier. It may cost some more, but it's easier. You can come from work if you got a job and do something. If you got your own crib, you can like set up your little microphone and things. And then you have your thing that you put your instrumental on, and then you blast your instrumental and you voice a song. You know? Like, it's way, if you want to take pictures, you don't have to worry about people walking by and make, you know what I mean? Like, it's way easier when you got your crib. Like, your environment have a lot to do with the type of lifestyle that you're creating. Because who want to live in a family house and who want to live with a roommate? Especially if you want to be a social media influencer. Like, it's hard. Especially if you're trying to be consistent. That's where all the pressure comes in, because, you're trying to be consistent and your roommate is there. And you're like, they're just there. Or that person is just there. You want to do it, but you're scared because you don't want them to mess what you're doing up. You don't, come on, man. Your environment, you got to change your environment. You got to change your environment. That's why a lot of people always want to get out the ghetto. And they don't want their kids to grow up in the ghetto. Because if your kid grew up in the ghetto, then your kid is going to adapt the lifestyle of living in the ghetto. Robbing stores, picking up hammers, all those, you know what I mean? All those kind of stuff. So your environment have to do with a lot about the person you're wanting to become. Trust me. Like for me, for my opinion, you need a healthy environment, you need a clean environment, and you need to keep your area neat and clean because it's hard to brainstorm and coming up with ideas when you got a dirty shirt right there. So it's like you sit down and you're like, okay, let's me think of idea. And then all of a sudden you start thinking of stuff and then your eyeball roll all over the place till you spotted something. And then that's the only thing that's going to be on your mind. So imagine you living in a family house or with a roommate and whatnot. You can't tell your roommate or your family member to not bring a friend over. So you're there and you're going to want to do a video. Then you have to sit down and wait for that friend to leave just so you can do it. And if they're there for the whole night, there's absolutely nothing you can do. But if you live in your own crib, you can do it whenever, however you want. Trust me, your environment have a lot to do with the person you're wanting to become. And like I've said, it may be hard, but it's worth it. To have your own space is worth it. Because you get to keep it how you want it. You don't have to move everything around every day. So your environment have a lot to do with whatever it is that you're trying to do. Even if you want to be a regular guy. If you live with someone or whatever, and you come home, sometimes you just want to come from work and just like lay down in your bed, eat some food, watch some TV, and go to bed. But when you live in a family house or you live with a roommate or in a bad, loud neighborhood, when you're trying to sleep, if your neighborhood is so bad, you have they're keeping parties there. You want to sleep because you got work the next day and you can't sleep, or you come from work and you eat some food and you watch some TV and you're trying to sleep, and then your roommate or your family is making a bunch of noise. You know what I mean? Like your environment have a lot to do with how healthy you are mentally as a person. You know what I mean? So me, I strongly recommend getting your own crib. Because you do whatever you want and whenever you want. Nobody can tell you nothing. That's why I'm aiming to get my own house so I can do whatever I want to do, whatever I want to do. Like, it's way, 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 way easier when you got your own crib. Way, way, way easier. Know what I mean? You don't have nobody walking around. You don't have nobody distracting you. You don't have nobody disturbing you. Like, your environment have a lot to do with the type of lifestyle that you want like the type of person that you want to become, especially a social media influencer. I like to stay on that topic because, like, to make videos and all, like, not just say YouTubers, even if you're wanting to make videos on TikTok or Facebook or any social media platform, you need silence. You don't want nobody that know you, that watch you and actually like you, to hear a bunch of noise in your background. And that's why you can't seem to move forward, because you're worrying about, oh, they're going to mess my video up. It's not going to be perfect. Why are you worrying about all those kind of stuff when you can get a job and go on your own? Like, it costs, but what you going to do? If you want a certain lifestyle, whatever lifestyle you want, it costs. Nobody want to watch a video of somebody and there's a bunch of noise and crying, all that kind of stuff within the background. Unless you're out in public. But if you're like sitting down like me and you're trying to say something, and then you hear like, hey, it's 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? Like, nobody want to hear those kind of stuff in their video. And sometimes people tend to not be motivated when they live with a roommate or they live in a family house, because they want to make videos and then they can't. And then you have to wait for everybody to go just so you can do it. And then, like I said, it's 7 out of 10 chance that someone is going to be there. And especially if you work, you're going to go to work and then you're going to come home and then you browse around to see who's there and who's not there. And then you're going to try to do something. Then when you start, people knocking on your door, people opening your door, you know, messing what you're doing up. You know what I mean? So your environment have a lot to do with making that step forward. You may know it, but there's absolutely nothing you can do because you don't want to pay the money. But it, like comfort, it costs. It costs to live a comfortable life. If you want to drive a car, it costs. You know what I mean? So you either ride the bus or take a cab, that's you. But to have your own car, it costs. To sleep on a single bed, or a double bed, you're going to be uncomfortable because there's not much space. But if you buy a king bed costs more. And then when you lay down on your king bed, you have a lot of space. Like, to be comfortable, it costs. So if you want to have a healthy environment, it's going to cost you some money, because you're going to need your own crib so you can have silence within your crib, so you can make your contents and put it out there in time to edit and time to sleep, and no one's making noise at your head. You know what I mean? So your environment have a lot to do with trying to become a social media influencer. Like, it has a lot to do with it. A lot of people don't want to make the step forward because they always got somebody home. It's always noisy. And then it's like, why should I even make a video when there's a bunch of noise here? You know what I mean? Like, I understand, but it's all on you. You can't make that step forward if you're not willing to sacrifice certain things. Because whatever you want, come and sacrifice it. You have to sacrifice something in order to get something else. So what are you going to do? Live in a family house or with a roommate and being comfortable and can't make that step forward? Or you rather step up the game and work and get your own crib, and then you're comfortable in making your videos. You decide what you think is best. Because, like I said, there's nothing like having your own crib. Trust me, I can't wait for the day when I buy my own house. I'll probably give you guys a tour. But like I've said, your environment have a lot to do with the type of lifestyle that you're wanting. Especially if you're wanting to be an Instagram model. You want to take a picture, there's always people walking by. And then if you don't got a ring light, and then you have to ask them, then they don't take it the exact way how you want it. Like, especially for me, I'm very picky with pictures. Because if I take a picture, I use my ring light, and then I position the angle and everything. You know what I mean? But if you have to ask a person, bro, I know exactly what that's like. Piece of your head is cut off, your foot's cut off. The lighting is bad and everything. And they literally just hold it like this and take it. Like, you don't move around. You know what I mean? So your environment have a lot to do, because different environment have different people. That's why everybody want to move from the bad neighborhood to move to a good neighborhood where they have teacher, doctor, and lawyers. Because if you live in the ghetto, trust me, it's going to have dogs barking, people dancing, gunshot, you know what I mean? Like, all those kind of stuff. And that's a bad environment for you to be in, especially if you want to be an asset to the world. So there's nothing beats a good, healthy environment. It's like, there's nothing like coming home and everything is where it should be, and you can lay down and you can watch some TV, you eat, then you go to bed, or you can make some video and then you go to bed. You know what I mean? So having your own crib help you be more consistent in being a social media influencer, because you don't have nobody messing your video up. You don't have nobody walking in. You know what I mean? Like, your environment have a lot to do with whatever you want in life. And sometimes your own environment, like I've said, is the thing holding you back. A lot of people don't know. I've heard a lot of people always say they want to make it out the hood. You wanna? Wanna sounds like a 50-50. You should say you're gonna make it out the hood. That's 100%, meaning you're gonna leave one day. You know what I mean? So your environment have a lot to do with you and your future. Because if you grow up in a certain way, how your environment is, that's exactly how you're going to grow up. If you live in a family house, if you grew up in a family house where everyone is like unorganized and everything all over the place, that's exactly how you're going to be. If you grow up in a family house where everyone is neat and tidy, that's how you're going to be. So your environment have a lot to do with the type of person you are and the type of lifestyle that you want to create for yourselves. Trust me. Change your environment. That's the same thing holding you back, and you know it, because every time you want to make that step forward, your heart starts pumping and you start getting nervous because there's somebody there, and you know the problem. Step your game up and get some money and get your own crib. Stop trying to live cheap. If you live cheap, it's uncomfortable. So I hope this message was useful to you guys. Change your environment and then you'll be a lot better. You need a healthy environment for a healthy future. Trust me. So there you guys have it. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. Your boy will be back doing more stuff. You go enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out. And don't forget to follow me on social media. I post daily on them.